So we've logged into Compass. We're on the main page. It's the accounts page. Everyone knows this link. So what we're going to do today is we're going to walk down this lane right here. And I always start at the top. I always feel like that's the best place to start and work my way down. So that's exactly where we're going to start. So my dashboard, as I just mentioned just a second ago, I'm not going to talk too much about it today because we spent a whole session the very first week of Compass Chat discussing my dashboard and the Heads Up tab. So you can see by my screenshot or my screen right here, you can see all the different tabs that are available to you. If you didn't catch week one, you can go to our YouTube channel and look at week one. It's called My Dashboard and Heads Up Chat, and you can sit there and watch all the details about that. I'm also not going to spend a whole lot of time on today because we are making some updates to this tab, and we're going to circle back around in a few weeks and talk a little bit more about my dashboard and some specific tabs that we're adding and also updating. But you can kind of see the information that's available on my dashboard. The whole idea of this tab was basically to help relieve people from having to always run reports. They can get a lot of the information that they need from these different tabs on here. So again, go to YouTube and go to our chat room or go to our station in YouTube and you can see the My Dashboard and Heads Up Display chat that we did in week one. So this second link is called Newsroom, and if you've been with me at all over the past few weeks, you'll know that I go to this occasionally, but we don't really talk in detail about what this Newsroom is. And really where the Newsroom idea came from is we used to have a blog on our regular website, cmsn.com, and we were trying to update that and keep all of our documents and stuff like that there so dealers could come to it. And we weren't getting a lot of traffic to that website. And in addition to that, we're trying to get everyone to use Compass, or as many people to use Compass as they can. So why not make it one-stop shop? And so we can look at it, and now you're going to come to one spot, one website. You can do your data entry, you can pull your activity, and now you can get information from CMS. So that's the whole idea of the Newsroom. And right now we've got two tabs available to you right now. The very first one that pulls up as soon as you click on the Newsroom is the Home tab. And you'll see there's a little information here. This is the news and announcements section on the left-hand side. You can see this update. Jennifer does a great job of getting this updated. You can see it on Tuesdays and Thursdays. There'll be information about the Compass Chat. You can always click on Learn More to get more information. And then even below this information, we've got more news and announcements that she's posted on here. So you can see the different information on here. You know, like in particular, a lot of dealers ask us about COVID-19, what we're doing for COVID-19, that type of thing. And you can click on the plus symbols, and that's going to open up this page. You'll see More, and we can go to See More, and then we can read the information that we have on here. Okay, so that's the whole idea of the news and announcements, is just to keep you guys updated about what's happening at CMS. Now, the other thing that's on the home page are what we call our quick links. And this is just a quick link to websites that we advise people to go to. So instead of telling you to go to YouTube and find our website and find our channel, right here's a quick link to it. So you can simply click on CMS YouTube, and it's immediately going to take you to the YouTube CMS station or channel, and then you can see all the videos that we've gotten in here. Okay, so it's real nice to have those quick links here. We've also got quick links for our Twitter account and our Instagram account, our Facebook account. And then we also have on here for alarm certificates. So a lot of people request an alarm certificate so they can give that to their customers, so their customers can get a discount on their insurance rates. And that form is on here. But I will tell you, if you're using this form, there's a much, much better way to do that. We've talked about that in the past on some of the other chats. On the location page of every account, there's a link on there for alarm certificate. And you can do a one-click link or one-click report to pull up the alarm certificate, and it's completely filled out for you. So it does everything for you. Then you can print it out or you can email it, do whatever you want. In this form, you fill out the information, and then it emails someone at CMS, and someone at CMS actually does the manual data entry to create the report. So there's a lot more steps and a lot more time to take if you use this, but it is on here. But if you are using it and you want more information about the alarm certificates on the location page, please let us know, because it is a much better, cleaner way to do it than using a certificate request. Now, CMS, we have partners, right? We can't do everything ourselves. So under here is our partner solutions. So these are a lot of the companies that we do business with. And these are, again, are just kind of quick links to their website. So we've got like alarm.com and Residio, AES, Alula. You can see them all listed down here. And like I said, you click on these and it's going to automatically take you to those websites, to their homepage. Okay, so that's just a real quick link so you can see who we're also doing business with. You may be looking for someone to do like radio or cell backup and that type of thing, and you can see some of the different ones that we use and partner with. So that's our home link, or our home tab. Now our second tab right now is our document library, and this is the place that we're uploading important documents, or at least what we think are important documents. And so as you can see right now, just in the early stages of the newsroom, we've already got 34 documents loaded onto the document library. And you'll see at the top here, we've got all, important, and favorites. So all is going to list them all. And if I got 34, that's not too bad to go through. In fact, I can even change this to, 40, and I can put all my forms on one page, and I can find the form that I'm looking for, right? So that's not too bad. But as time goes by, Jennifer and I and other people at CMS, we're going to keep uploading more and more documents to this. So it's going to get pretty large. So that's where these two tabs are going to come into play. Important are documents that CMS people think are important to you as a user. So we go in there and we can tag those documents as important, and that's what you're going to find under here. You'll see that just the other day, I tagged our UL certificates for our 3 monitoring stations as important because I thought those would be important for people to see. Now you don't have to kind of surf through all the documents to find that. But these are what we deem to be important. The favorites button is stuff that you as a user might use a lot, okay? In this case here, like my dealer, I'm playing a dealer right now, j.van.meter. That's my company. I use the common event codes all the time. So I can click on the star and make that a favorite. And so just like with an account being a favorite account, I can have a document that's a favorite to me as well. So this may not be important, or CMS may not deem this important, so they don't tag it here, but I can tag it as a favorite so I don't have to search for it. All I have to do is click on my favorites, and I can have all my favorites listed right here. If I find out that, this isn't as important to me anymore, I can simply unclick that star, and it goes away, as you just noticed there. Okay, so that's the document library. Now, I will tell you, we are getting ready to start working on an update, and that's one nice thing about Compass. I tell people all the time that Compass is never going to be completed. It's always going to be a work in progress, and we are always updating it and making it better. And so one of the things we're doing to the newsroom is we're adding a third tab that's going to list all the CMS services. So if you go back to the home tab, I was talking about the partner solutions, right? But you don't necessarily know all the services that we work with that partner. So the third tab that we're going to add on here is going to list all the services that CMS offers, plus the services that we offer through each of our partners. So that tab is going to be able to give you all the information you need. If you're wondering, hey, does CMS offer alarm.com video, you can go to the services tab later on and you'll be able to see, yes, they do, and here's the information, and here's who you need to talk to. So that's coming down the road, not too far away, probably within the next month, 2 months at the most. You'll see a third tab on the newsroom, and that's basically going to say services, and it's just going to be the services that CMS offers. It's a quicker way for you to find that information out instead of having to call someone to find out if we actually offer that stuff. Okay, so that's the newsroom, and do you go to it every single day? Maybe not, but if you go to it at least once or twice a week, you can really keep updated what's going on at CMS. So we're having a lot of fun with that, and like I said, Jennifer's doing a great job with the newsroom, keeping it updated for our dealers. Now, we were on this tab, the link last time, or when we logged in, right? So everyone knows the accounts page. That's the page you have when you first log in to Compass, and you've got your 3 tabs for all accounts, recently accessed accounts, and favorites. So I don't have to get into this too much because everyone pretty much knows what this page is. And like I said, we've covered it in other chats in the past. So that's the accounts page. So we can kind of skip through that. Again, that's your home page when you log in. What we haven't talked about at all in the first 12 weeks of Compass is global contacts. And I've had a few questions about what the global contacts are. So I want to take a few minutes and talk about this page because it can be very useful for you as a dealer. Now, what the global contacts shows is every single contact on every single one of your accounts. It automatically loads. So in this case here, I'm a pretty small dealer. I've got about 300 accounts. It loaded all 948 of my contacts that are on my accounts. Okay, and you can see it's listing them by last name, by first name, phone number if there's one, and then right here is the number of accounts that this contact is listed on. Okay, so right now, just on this first page, you see all these contacts are listed just on one account, so not a big deal. Now, if I wanted to delete from here, instead of having to go to the account, I've got my actions buttons out here, and I can delete from here. Okay, and like many of our other pages within Compass, I can filter several different ways. So if I want to filter just by this information right here, I've got the little filters right here, and I can say, okay, show me all of my contacts that have VAN in the last name. So not looking for anything specific, it's just looking for VAN. So in this case here, the first three that pull up are Sullivan, the rest of them are Van Meters. Okay, so those are my 11 contacts that showed up for me that are contacts on an account. Now you can see on the very first line, I've got Bob Sullivan is listed on 4 different accounts. So now I can click on this link right here on 4, and it's going to show me the 4 accounts that Bob Sullivan is listed on. Okay, I've got the location name, I got the account number and the address and the city and state. If you had a PIN, it would be there as well. If you had an email address, it would also be there. Okay, and then if I wanted to go to each one of these, I can simply click on the link underneath the location name. You'll notice that my icon changes to the finger. I can click on that and go to that page. Okay, so where does this come in handy? Well, it comes in handy with you've got a regional manager or a property manager that's listed on several accounts, and you need to update that information or you need to delete that person. You want to find out what accounts this person, Bob Sullivan, is listed on, so you can either update something, maybe give him a PIN or change his phone number or something like that, or Bob Sullivan quit the company altogether and we can delete him. Okay, so a couple things to kind of pay attention to. When you pull this up, it's going to take you to the account, and if you're updating the contact, you have to do that one at a time. Because of the way our monitoring software works, we cannot link all these accounts together. Okay, so what we would end up having to do is click on the account, update it, come back to the global contacts, use your back arrow and come back to the global contact, and then click on the next one. Okay, so that's the way you're going to use the global contact most of the time if you're going to update it. Now, one of the things that we are actually doing an update on, and this is another thing, like I said, we're always adding and updating Compass, is right now, if I were to go to one of those accounts, it removes my filter. Okay, so I would have to come back here and click on the filter, type in van again, and then it pop back up. But the developers are working on that so that this filter stays there until I manually clear it by either clicking the X or clicking the clear all filters. Okay, so that's coming down the road, probably in August's update. So the filter will stay there. That'll make it easier to update those contacts. Now, let's say, for example, that I want to delete Bob because he left the company. The delete action works differently than the update action, and it makes it much nicer for Compass users to use. Because what I can do here with Bob Sullivan, if he's gone, all I need to do is click on the action for delete contact. I select which accounts I want to delete him from. If it's all of them, I'll go ahead and check them all. If it's only the first 2 that I want to delete him from, then I'll make sure of those 2, and then I go ahead and click delete. So I can delete a contact from all of the accounts at once. It's just the editing or updating that I have to do on a manual basis. And again, that's just something that it's a quirky thing with our mastermind monitoring that forces us to do that. So deleting a contact from multiple accounts is much, much easier and really a lot more useful to you if you're making those updates. Okay, so that's filtering these out. Another reason you might use this for is, in this case here, you'll see that Jason Van Meter is listed, I don't know, what is that, 6 times, but he's listed with 6 different phone numbers. So maybe I want to reach out to my customer and find out if this is the same Jason Van Meter on all these accounts, and maybe why he's got 6 different phone numbers. I can't imagine he's carrying around 6 different cell phone numbers. Maybe one of them's a work phone, maybe one of them's a home phone. But I also want to find out, are any of these bad phone numbers? Before the CMS monitoring reps keep calling them and telling me that they're a bad phone number, I can be a little proactive with that. So that's another benefit of using this global contact. And again, you can use these filters down here. We also have additional filters up here at the top. So let me clear this filter out. And you can see I can either search for all my contacts by a pen. So if I want to go in here and I want to say, show me every contact that has the pen Buckeyes, there's only one. So that makes it good. What account is that on? Again, I can click on that number 1, and there's the account that it's on. Now, if I need to update that to Go Bucks or OH, I can do that, and it makes it real simple to do that, okay? I don't have to search for the account that might be on. The other thing you might also do is additional filter by email address. We're starting to do a lot of auto notifications via SMS or email address. And if I want to find out if I have a certain email address out there getting auto notifications, I can go ahead and put that email address in there, and it will show me all of my contacts that have that email address. So several different things that you can use the global contacts for. Again, not a lot of people use this, and I will forewarn you just a little bit. If anybody is working for an alarm company that's got a lot of accounts, and when I say a lot of accounts, I mean probably upwards of 10,000 plus accounts, this page will load a little bit slower because, again, it's going to load every single contact for every single one of your active accounts. But I have messed around with one of our dealers' logins, 65,000 plus contacts, and the page loaded within 5 seconds every time I tested with it. So not too much of a delay even for that number of contacts to pull up. So that is your global contacts. Now our next link, we're moving down, reports. This is another one that we've talked about in the past, so I'm not going to talk too much about this one at all. We did a whole chat session on how to run reports, how to set up subscriptions, and your report inbox. But you'll see when you get to the reports, you've got 3 different tabs. One to actually run a report. If you want to schedule a report to go to someone in your office or to one of your customers, this will show you all of your scheduled reports that are set up or subscriptions. And then whenever your subscriptions run, they go to your report inbox. So if I've got a subscription set up that's going to one of my customers, and it's the timer test not received report, and he calls me and says, I didn't get my report today, I can go to the report inbox, and I can look and see that it completed successfully, and I can see when it was created, I can see that it's there. Now what I can do is I can go ahead and click on the envelope to resend that report to my customer. So he says he didn't get it. While I'm on the phone with him right now, I can go ahead and click this and send that to him, and I know that it's on its way. So that's one thing I want to talk about this link is on the report inbox. If you ever don't get your report for some reason in your office or a customer says they didn't get it, go to the report inbox. You can find it, see that it completed successfully. Now, whether or not they got it, maybe they got spammed for some reason, or maybe it went to their junk. But for whatever reason, you can go ahead and send them a new report, and that goes out real quickly. It still comes from the no reply at myalarms.com, so you'll just need to let them know. That comes in to play a lot more when it's a brand new report for a brand new customer, because most of the time they've got no reply emails blocked, right? So everyone's email filters have no reply at whatever, blocked as spam or junk. So if you don't get that through to your customer or they don't listen to you, then and whitelist that, then a lot of times that's going to go to it and they're going to tell you they're not getting the report. They're getting it, it's just going to their junk or spam, but you can still go ahead and manually send that to them and tell them this is coming from no reply at myalarms.com. You need to make sure that's whitelisted. So that's the reports link. Now the next link, again, billing and payments. This is another one we spent a whole week on, and so won't go into too many details about this. Now, some of you may be going, hey, I don't have that link on mine. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't see billing and payments. It goes straight to administration. Well, that's because we don't open this up for all users. In fact, to open it up for a user, we have to have something in writing, including email, from the owner of the company, the president of the company, an officer of the company, giving us authorization to open that up for a user. That link can be opened up by user, so not everyone in your company has to have it. Maybe just your accounting manager needs to have access to it. So if you're looking at this and you see it's like my menu doesn't show billing and payments, that's because it hasn't been opened up to your user yet. And again, if you need it or anything like that. You just want to get with the president of the company, officer of the company, and send us an email to either your BDSRs, to me, or to dealer support, and we can go ahead, or billing for that matter, to our billing department, and we can open that page up to you. But this shows you your AR history. It shows you basically everything that has transpired between CMS and your company as far as billing stuff is concerned. The invoices, the billing audit reports, when the payments came in, that type of thing. So that's the whole billing and payments. Now our administration link is right below that. And we've talked about this link off and on for the past, I don't know, several weeks. In fact, 2 weeks ago, we talked about being a CMS admin dealer, and we talked about these first 4 tabs in depth. You know, these are what you're using if you're an admin dealer, okay? Last week we talked about, you know, recovering your username and resetting your password and changing some of your profile settings, and that's what this tab was about, okay? In a few weeks, we're going to talk about default settings and how you can customize CMS Compass just for you. That's not an admin function. It's just a user function. You can change the way the page looks. You can hide columns. You can move columns around. And that's just to make it easier for every user to use Compass. Okay, so that's the administration link. Now, what we don't see on here, and this is a perfect segue, is message center tabs. So if you're a message center dealer, you would have 2 additional tabs on here for your message center contacts and also your notification list for message center. Now, we haven't talked about that yet because next week we have a guest speaker. You all know her as the chat room person. She's Beth Delker, our dealer support trainer. And next week, I'm taking a leave of absence, and Beth is running the show. So she's going to be doing Message Center next week on Tuesday at 3 o'clock and Thursday at 2 o'clock. And it's her show to run. So she's going to be going in depth about Message Center. So if you're not a Message Center dealer, I think it's really important for you to see the Message Center information, because right now you might have an answering service and those people are taking messages for doctor's offices, for dentist offices, insurance offices, whatever. They're not privy to alarm account information. Whereas with our Message Center, those are monitoring center reps. So they're used to your information, your account information. They're used to the industry information. So they're a little more helpful, not only talking to your customers, but also when they're typing up the notes, it's a little more legible and your technicians can understand it a little bit better. So Beth is going to go over that stuff. So if you're not a Message Center dealer, I think it's really good to see that. But even if you are a Message Center dealer, it's good because I can almost guarantee you she's going to hit something next week that you didn't know about. And that's what we're always stressing. Every week when we do Compass Chat or anytime we're working with a dealer, if I can get one thing to you that you didn't already know, then that's been a success. And I think Beth is going to be able to touch on several different things that even if you are a Message Center dealer, even if you are using those tabs, she's going to find something that you didn't already know. So definitely tune in next week to listen and watch Beth perform on Compass Chat. So that's the administration. So again, she'll handle that, and then in a couple of weeks we'll come back and we're going to talk more in detail about the default settings. Now our next one we're going to talk about is Tech Help. So not a lot of people know this, and it's technically not part of CMS Compass because as you'll notice, as I clicked on it, it just opened a brand new tab, right? So it takes me to a different page outside of Compass. I can go back to Compass real easily and not lose my place, right? But we're going to go back to Tech Help. So what's Tech Help good for? Well, let's say, for example, you're an Ademco dealer, and all you've ever done is Ademco panels. Whatever panel it is, as long as it's Ademco, you'll install it. But you've got a new prospect out there, and she's got a Cadex NX8. You've never dealt with Cadex. You don't know what Cadex does. You don't know the programming codes. You don't know any of that stuff. And this customer says, I'm not paying to have a new panel put in. I just had this Cadex put in about a year ago. I'm not paying for a new one. Well, in years past, you could be choosy and say, well, if you don't want to pay for it, maybe I'll give this one to you for free and I'll just go ahead and install it, or I'll just bypass you as a customer. I don't need you as a customer. And we know times have changed, right? So, A, you don't want to eat the money by putting in a free panel for her, and B, you still want her as a customer. So what do? Well, that's what Tech Help is good for, because you can go to Tech Help and you can go in here and you can say, all right, I know I'm a Ademco guy. all I've ever done is a Demco, but let's see if there's any Cadix information on here. Bang, right down here on the left-hand side, I've got Cadix, so I can click on that if I want to, and now here's every panel we've got for Cadix. Okay, if she's got an NX8E, now I can go ahead and click on my NX8E, and it's going to show me my basics, my codes, my keypad, you know, my troubleshooting, my wiring, everything's right here for Cadix. So I don't have to go searching. I don't have to try and call someone else. I can just go ahead and pull this up. Now, the nice thing about the Tech Help is it's available on the mobile version of Compass as well. So if your technicians are out in the field and they say, hey, you know, this customer's got a Cadix NX8 in there. I don't know how to do that. I've never done it before. You can say, hey, open up Compass Mobile and click on Tech Help and look at Cadix, and everything is going to be right there for you. Okay, so that's the whole idea. And, you know, I'll be honest with you, it's not going to have, we've got a lot of panels, trust me. I mean, you can see just down the left-hand side, all the manufacturers we have listed here. But you may find one, a new one might come out, or a very old one might be out there, and we may not have it. And that's possible, you know, because we're not actively going out there always searching for one. And we count on our dealers a lot. So if you find one, or if you have one that you don't see in Tech Help, what you can do is click this link here that says Contact CMS, and we ask you to do this, and let us know what that panel is so we can go ahead and go out there and try to find that and get it updated on the Tech Help. It wouldn't necessarily help you on this install right now or this takeover right now, but it could help others and could help you down the road. So if you ever find one that you don't find on here, you ever have one that you don't find on here, go ahead and let us know. We would definitely appreciate that so we can get that information uploaded. But you know, you can, like I said, there's a ton of information here. And, you know, again, if you go back to a Demco, maybe you're in a Demco dealer, but you don't know some of the old Demco stuff. You know, you can go and see all of the different Demco panels right here that are all on here. So a lot of information on the Tech Help. Okay, so definitely use that if you need to, especially to keep an account or to take over an account and not lose that customer. So that's going to be your Tech Help. Now, the last link that I'm going to talk about, and I'm not going to talk too much about it, is the online data form. The reason I'm not going to talk too much about it is because it's going away. It's on the website right now, and it's available to our users. But to be quite frank, this is a very old data form, and it was created back on our predecessor of Compass and Mastermind. We called it B32 was our database. We called MassLink was the dealer portal at that time. And this was created for that. And it needs a lot of updates to work properly with our Mastermind software. Too many updates, to be quite honest with you. And so a lot of dealers use this form, and they type it all up, and they put the information in here, and then they send that information to data entry at CMS. So in theory, they think they're doing all the data entry work for themselves right here. You know, you can click on here and I can put in, you have to put all the information in here. So there's my dealer number. And then I got to type in just a mere alarms. You know, so you can see this is going to take a while to fill this form out, right? And then once I get done, I have to do an error check to make sure that it's correct and there's no errors in there. And you do have to do that. You'll notice I cannot click on submit account. You can hear my clicking maybe, and it will not go until I do the error check. Okay. Now, once I do the error check and it's okay, when I submit this, it doesn't go into the database. It goes into our data entry queue at the back of the line, first in, first out. So our dealer support data team is really good, and they'll get to it, but it's going to take some time to get to it. And to be quite honest with you, in the time that you've typed all this information in, done your error check, fixed your errors, gone back in and hit submit action, and then waited for dealer support to get it entered into Mastermind, you could have done all of this in Compass and been done much, much, much faster. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why we've determined we're not going to update this page and create a brand new online data form, is because it just doesn't make sense. It makes so much more sense to use Compass to do your data entry. Okay, because again, if you're taking the time to fill this out, in that same amount of time, you could be filling out the field on Compass and it goes in real time. There's no delay whatsoever. So if you're a technician, you know, you could fill out that information, and when you walk away from that site, all the information's there. They are good and guarded at that point. You can take the account off test because all the data's in there. If you're a technician and you fill this out and then hit submit, that account doesn't exist yet at CMS yet. So you still need to leave that account on test technically, right? Because all the data is not in there until dealer support enters it. So that's one of the biggest things that I kind of push for about this form. And that's one of the reasons why it's going to go away. Now, we don't have a sunset date on it. Nothing's been set in concrete of when that link's going to go away. But it is going to go away, and if I were a gambling man, which I am not, but if I were, I would tell you this link will not see January 1st, 2021. So you're talking basically less than, just a little over 6 months of life left on this form. So just know that. So if you need more information or some one-on-one training or anything like that to get more comfortable with doing data entry with Compass, we've got a couple different ways to do it. You know, we've got on our channel here, I just clicked on the Compass chat with Jason. You can see all the different chats that we've done in the past 12 weeks, and you can see we did 3 straight weeks of data entry, and we broke it up so that they weren't like, 5 hours long. So they're nice in 35 minutes. The longest one was 52 when we talked about zones and contacts, and then even the auxiliary tabs for data entry was less than 40 minutes. So you can definitely go here and look at these videos, but we would be more than happy to do one-on-one training with you as well to get you more comfortable with doing your own data entry. And I'm telling you, it will make more sense. If you're a person using the data information sheet right now in this link here, you'll be so much more happier, and your customers will be happier if you start doing your data with Compass and getting that information in there real time. So that's going to wrap us up for this week.